Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BizzTalk Africa. I'm your host, Jason Schuster, and I'm here with my co-host, Vidya Mike, who's calling in from South America today, right?
I am indeed, yes.
Oh, yeah. Traveling all over the world.
Around.
I love it. I love it. And we're here today with a really cool guest, Claire Alexander. Claire, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm great. Thanks so much for the introduction, Jason. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you.
Absolutely.
And we have a really interesting topic today. We're talking about your organization, which is the African Scottish Business Network, right?
Yeah, it's the Africa Scotland Business Network.
Okay, got it. Wow. Now, I've got so many questions, but before we dive into any of those questions, Claire, can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself? Maybe take 2 minutes, just tell them a little bit about your background, how you got to where you are, and then maybe a little bit about the organization after that.
Sure. Thanks, Jason. So I'm Claire. You can tell from my accent that I'm a Scottish girl. I'm 38 years old and I'm tuning in from Cape Town right now. So I grew up in a small town in Scotland just outside Stirling. I actually grew up as a full-time swimmer. I used to swim for Scotland in the 200 butterfly. So I come from quite a sporty background, quite an ordinary, normal working class family in Scotland. And then in Scotland, we have the opportunity to go and study at college or university for free. So both myself and my sister grabbed that opportunity with both hands. So I got my degree in business from the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow. I went to live in Australia for a year. And when I came back, I ended up working in an energy company in Scotland. Scotland's quite famous for both oil and gas and renewable energy, even today. And I was offered the chance to go to South Africa. And even though I had absolutely no plans to ever go to South Africa in my life, and when I was 24, I ended up coming to South Africa with both a job opportunity and a South African guy that I had met at the time in Scotland. And 24 years old, I found myself in Johannesburg. And it's quite a culture shock going from Scotland. It's a pretty free civil country, and then you end up in Johannesburg, and then you're suddenly like living behind like massive walls and gates, and it just like wasn't right for me. So to cut a story, after 6 months, I gave both up, the guy and the job. And I was en route back to Scotland, but I thought, you can't leave South Africa without coming to Cape Town. So I moved to Cape Town just for a holiday, and I'm still here 14 years later.
Fantastic. And that's the thing about Africa, right? Like people judge it from documentary, from reading the news and stuff like that. But when you sort of go there and you dig deep, there is something about the energy of Africa that's so real, and it's sort of the complete essence of what living is, because you're just one with nature. And as you said, you experience Johannesburg, then you experience Cape Town, and then it's like, I love this, and there's so much to be done.
Absolutely. Cape Town is a fascinating place. Let me go back to Johannesburg. I love Johannesburg now. There's energy there. The people are amazing. I work with fantastic people in Johannesburg. My in-laws are in the province of Gauteng, right next to...
So you give up that guy, but you married. So, all right.
After 10 years, someone put the ring on my finger.
Congratulations.
Excellent.
So are you South African now?
That's a tricky question to be asking live.
There you go. In all respects, in terms of living, in terms of life, in terms of business, you do a good link between South Africa and Scotland.
Yeah, that's correct. I am a proud Scot. Like, I wear my Scottishness on my sleeve, and it serves me here in South Africa because I'm different. But at the same time, I also have that same feeling in my heart when I see the South African team perform in sports or in music and the arts. I have the same feeling. So I'm torn between the two.
You embrace both of them, rather.
Completely.
Yeah.
And I think South African people really admire that in me because I am completely immersed in their culture. It's not like I hover around, the expat community or other foreign nationals who are immigrants here. And yes, of course I do, but I don't spend like all my time with them. I am completely immersed in all South African culture. I've got friends from all backgrounds, and I think that's earned me a lot of respect.
And how does it, so what do you do from a day-to-day perspective? How do you actually work? How does Scotland and the organization you work for work with South Africa?
Sure. So
hold on real quick. Can we back up a little bit? Can we tell the audience about the organization that you work for?
Yeah, sure. That's a great idea.
And then Vinny's question exactly. How do you work together? I love it.
Yeah, sure. So the Africa Scotland Business Network is an international business network that's born and built from the continent of Africa. Our head office is in Cape Town, South Africa. But our network is slowly going all the way across Africa. We have a direct member footprint in 7 African countries so far. And then we use that business model to connect directly with the public and private sector of Scotland. So we are now connecting this majestic continent directly, meaningfully with what I believe is the best wee country on the planet. And the reason for doing that, a lot of people say, well, why Scotland? Well, obviously I'm from Scotland, but you can't just start a business because of your nationality. It's got to offer value. Otherwise, you don't have a business.
Right.
So after lots of research, Scotland and Africa share so many major economies, from energy, both oil and gas, renewable energy, engineering, agriculture, technology, education. So it's almost like we're meant to be working together, but there wasn't enough people, in my view, that were actually connecting the two directly. And I saw a massive opportunity in the market to do something about it. And
amazing from a country perspective that this initiative is being supported at that country level. Initiative is and bringing together, you have governments bringing together the private sector, and then that people aspect of it. That's phenomenal, right? I mean, and what I love about it and what you're saying, Claire, is that the initiative is not driven purely from a profitable perspective. The initiative is driven from a people business perspective. And one thing you said there, it's almost like you guys are meant to be together. I mean, that's a powerful statement.
Yeah, we're completely purpose-led, but quite, I feel like this is my purpose. It's why, I had a lockdown baby last year. I've got a 3-year-old toddler, and I have another business as well. I've been an entrepreneur in this country for 9 years now.
Did you say you had a lockdown baby?
Yeah. Yeah, he's 10 months now.
I love it.
Coined here on BizzTalk, the term "a lockdown baby" by Claire. Fantastic.
Yeah, I've had to give me like peace on this interview. I've literally had to kick my children and my hubby out the house.
Believe me, I know. I've got 3 of my own, and I basically have to tell them, hey, don't make any noise. We're on a show. You can watch it later.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Lockdown,
So
baby.
you said you're an entrepreneur as well.
Yeah, I started my first business when I was 29 with literally, well, it'll be about $2. Yeah, so I was in a bit of a do or die situation back then. But I also believe, you know, you talk about Africa being this like really magnetic, special and spiritual place. I believe that, you know, it was part of my journey to come here, do a bit of healing from childhood. We'll not go into that in this interview, but get myself through adversity. And then I literally reached a point after, you know, I'd been in great jobs in South Africa for the first 5 years of my life. You know, I had the privilege of working for a national celebrity. I worked for great organizations. But then I got to the point where I didn't have any money. I didn't have any stability. And I thought, oh my goodness, that I just use my experience and the network that I've built to team up with my friend who's still my business partner today. She deserves like an Olympic gold medal for putting up with me for 9 years. And we just decided, you know what, we've got nothing to lose. And we literally started Firecracker by depositing 50 Rand in a First National Bank account, which is about $2, $3. We used her husband, who is now our graphic designer at Firecracker today. Firecracker it's now an award-winning event management, marketing and graphic design company, literally started from scratch, brand, deposit in the bank, and off we went. And yeah, luckily it worked out because I'm still here.
But you know, Claire, the attitude you have and had back then, I mean, I hope all our viewers listening to this is actually taking inspiration from that, because I'm taking inspiration from that, right? Because, you know, like the first thing people do, we've got an idea, and, you know, this world has actually coerced people into thinking, you know what, we do a business plan and we go and get some funding from somebody else and we blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you don't need to do that, because businesses started from an idea and a lot of determination in your personal bank, and that's where you are. So that's really amazing. Now, how did that experience transition into the work you're doing right now with your organization and bridging together Africa and Scotland? And Jason, I swear I'm gonna shut up after this.
You don't have to shut up. It's okay. We're getting it. This is a really interesting interview.
There.
There's going to be a lot to talk about. So let's just keep going.
That's a really great question. So I realized that I never studied event management, but I just like fell into the event sector in South Africa. Someone offered me a job and I had to grab it. And I just self-taught myself through various companies in 5 years. And I realized, wow, I'm so passionate about designing the spaces for people and brands to come together under a, you know, collective common good, and either teach them something, show them something, educate them, whether it was through my own, you know, our own objectives or through client objectives. And after, you know, 5-6 years, I realized I was very good at it. I won an industry award. I didn't tell anyone I was Scottish because it was like an African award. I was like, okay, they've not got the accent, but I'm going to go to the award ceremony, and if I get turned away, it might be a bit awkward because I've flown from from Cape Town. So I got my first award, and we then got another award like down to the last 30 in Cape Town Small Business of the Year. And I thought, right, we are onto something here. You know, we've got this creative agency that's, you know, it's integrated. We offer a lot of creative services under one roof. It saves clients time and money. Myself and my business partner, we also use our authentic selves to sell the companies, to sell our business, you know, because people buy people. And we just realized people really enjoy working with us. Yes, of course, like any startup, you go through the motions, you learn really hard lessons. You know, it's not like rainbows and butterflies in the business world, but, you know, you can also like apply your mindset to enjoy, to like deliberately enjoy what you do every single day. And it's just carried us through. And even during lockdown, like we had a great year. And a lot of people are like, wow, how did you get through lockdown as an event management and creative agency? Well, we just adapted and did the opposite of what everyone else did, and actually led the pack by saying, hey, how can we help? And that drew so many people to us. We've got clients from all over the world, not without hard work. Anyway, so Firecracker is going really strong. You know, we're currently recruiting again, which is awesome. So how did Africa Scotland Business Network, how did that come about? So after about 7 or 8 years into Firecracker's life, I started realizing, wow, I'm really good at networking. Like, I have the ability, or the emotional intelligence, whatever you want to call it, to just very quickly find common ground with people, use my, you know, we're born with 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, to actually listen to people. And it's a skill, and it's something myself and my business partner, we do very well. And
what's her name?
Nicola Probin. So she's South African.
Shout out to Nicola.
Nicola.
Yep. We'll have you sometime on the show.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. So myself and Nicola are actually like chalk and cheese. It's so fascinating. We share a star sign and a sense of humor. So, but apart from that, we're very different. But that's what works. You know, you can't be two the same people. Can't be two same business partners. So I started researching different networks out there, foreign chambers, and we actually joined a couple, and we thought, wow, okay, you know, the concept is opening your business up to lots of businesses within this space or asset. And I thought, wow, okay, so I am very well accomplished in doing something quite similar with event management. My business partner carries the marketing expertise, so she's, you know, top of her game here in brand and marketing. We also have a fantastic graphic designer, so, you know, we're very creative and dynamic people. And I was literally driving to work one day, and I heard Cyril Ramaphosa on the radio, like, I kid you not, and he was like talking about foreign investment. Now, I, at the time, had no clue what that even was. I had no experience in like being physically involved in international business, but I thought, right, well, I'm from Scotland. How can I use my nationality to encourage more Scottish businesses into Africa? Let me see if I can do this. And then I thought, right, I don't want to be a consultant because I'm not expert in this. But what I am expert in is holding the space for people. And that is when the concept or a notion of building a business network started to emerge. And at first, the business network was, okay, well, we start it for Cape Town. And then we thought, no, should we start it for South Africa? And I thought, no, that's not even big enough. Like, if we're going to start a second business, we are going big. Like, I'm not here to play small. Like, this has got to be worth it, right? So we decided to take on Africa. And then we thought, okay, we've got a business network model in our head, but let's connect that the network model with Scotland, so we can actually have members there too. And that way we can cross-pollinate businesses without actually, you know, getting too involved. You know, we're just here to facilitate this. And today we have a direct member footprint in 11 countries, and we're growing approximately 1 member every 5 to 6 days. In fact, I don't actually want to take on anymore because I want to grow organically and strategically. So yeah, that's where we are today, 21 months into operation.
Congratulations. Amazing to take that from that conceptual perspective to recognize that this was bubbling up and going to happen, and to where it is today. But also, you know, like Claire, you and Nicola have, because you've got your business, because you've got your head screwed on, and because you're driven by purpose, you know when to apply those brakes, right? Because at not all the point in time in a business, you have to accelerate. There are times when you need to apply the brakes and say, you know what is my strategic goal? What are we trying to accomplish, and how are we going to accomplish it? And I think, like, I love what I'm hearing. I mean, amazing.
That is so on point, and I cannot emphasize that any louder, because especially after COVID, we had to bring on board a new strategy, and our strategies are constantly, you know, we've got our big picture vision, but our strategies, you know, to reach the short to medium term goals, they're constantly being tweaked and evolved. And I think that's okay. I think that that's how we ride this wave and towards progress and growth and prosperity. So earlier on in the year, we actually felt like we had to put the brakes on. We had about 70, 65 companies in our network at the time. And it was just me and a part-time resource. Yes, Nicola is involved with the network from a marketing point of view, but she's like in the thick of running Firecracker right now. And yes, Africa Scotland Business Network, because this is much bigger than a couple of people on the operations, you know, pulling the strings, we have a board, an amazing board from both Africa and Scotland, and we've got a couple of English ladies on our board as well. So our board is also very diverse, and they offer us diversity of thought, which is really, really important. Now, they hold us accountable. So it's not like, you know, myself and Nicola are just like pushing forward, like winging it. Not at all. Like, our strategies, despite them being tweaked here and there, they're completely bulletproof. And to this day, we are actually further ahead than where we forecast. However, earlier on in the year, I'd put the brakes on, much to your point, because we couldn't do this ourselves. It was getting too big for us. So I kind of like backed it up a little bit. We actually stopped taking members on board, sort ourselves out, stop, think.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And what has resulted from that? Just taking a deep breath, backing up a little bit. We designed a conference. We thought, how can we create a platform that's part of Africa Scotland Business Network that will help us bring in sponsorship to help us scale up a bit? And that's what happened. We put together an energy technology event series. Our first conference, you know, again, I'm using my experience in the event management industry. We made it like really appealing. We gave it like, we designed it over 5 weeks, 1 hour per week on a different topic in a very, very crucial industry, which is energy. This is like massive right now. Energy is such an exciting place to be in. And I took the concept to Scottish Government and I said to them, please, now obviously in the time that I've started Africa Scotland Business Network, I've been nurturing a fantastic relationship with different layers of government in Scotland, and also with the British High Commission in South Africa as well.
And what response did you get? Were they, you know, like open arms and said, you know, this is good?
So I'll tell you why I got open arms in the first place, because if a lot of businesses treat government like a pot of gold at the bottom of the rainbow, I don't. I treat government like I treat another business, because
it's an enabler. Their support is more than a pot of gold.
Completely. And it's not just about, you know, government funds. It's about the expertise in government as well.
Exactly.
Now, to access expertise, you've got to be liked by them. They are gonna, I want to be encouraged by government. These guys have been working in different levels for years. They know what they're doing, okay? And that's their expertise. Now, a really fantastic, like a prosperous ecosystem is when different parts of society are all working together harmoniously. And that's what I want. That's my view of how I want to work with government. So before I started Africa Scotland Business Network, I actually emailed a completely generic email address. And I said, hi, I'm Claire in South Africa. I know you don't know me from a bar of soap, but this is who I am. I've got a small business in event management and marketing, but this is my vision, and it involves Scotland. Are you like? Would anybody like to listen to this? I got three people got back to me. They were actually straight on the phone to me, and one of them said, "Claire, can you get yourself back to Scotland for a meeting?" And I said, yes, let me sort out my family and I'll get there. So I actually went to Edinburgh and I met with Scottish Government and I told them my vision, and they were like, Claire, I also gave them a bottle of wine, which I wasn't meant to do. I was like, there's a wee present for you.
Bribe.
I was like, it costs like 100 rand. Like, surely that doesn't, like a $5 bottle of wine doesn't count as a bribe, right? So,
it does not. No, it have to cost 25 pounds to be legit.
Exactly. And her name is Kate. I still work with her today. And she said to me, Claire, we're not going to fund you because you've got no traction. We don't really know who you are, but go back to Africa, prove it to us, and then we will begin talking to you. And that is how I nurtured my relationship with Scottish Government. Two-way street. I gave them the time, I gave them the respect, and now I probably work with about 30 people in Scottish Government today.
Same. Such a brilliant approach, because and this is what, like, we want our viewers to sort of pick up from this. Your focus on working with governments, on working with agencies, and working with other businesses should not really be just about who can give me money. It's who could give me, help our purpose and support what we're doing. Money, if you have a good business model, it will sell, it will come. But you need to be able to demonstrate the power of what you're saying and what you're doing. And you will get that support. I mean, amazing, absolutely amazing. And I know, Jason, we're probably running out of time.
So before we go any further, yes, we actually only have like 2 minutes left. but here's the deal. This has been a super engaging show, and we're definitely going to have Claire back. But we're also talking about working with Scotland Business Network and bringing some of their members on the show as well, Vidhi. So this is just the very beginning of many shows together. So no worries about running out of time, because we'll be right back.
Absolutely. And, I encourage our viewers to sort of, ask questions, connect with us, contact us and stuff like that, because Claire, I mean, your personality, you and Nicola, what you've achieved by going in, what I like about the story. I mean, there's many things I like about the story, but Definitely. You have left one country. This is not unsimilar to me leaving the Caribbean and going into the United Kingdom. And, you go there, you have two identities. You have multiple identities over a point in time, but it's not about trying to make one of them be what you want it to be. It's about embracing the opportunity and going after a sense of purpose and smiling every single day, even if it's tough. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely. And I hope that's what we've done. We're just offering, we're not just a network. We're an experience. When members join us, we offer them an annual experience. And I think that's what makes us different. We're contemporary, we're proactive, we're progressive. And that is why we've attracted some of the biggest global corporates in the world, right through to your inventors, innovators, one man, one woman bands. That's what makes us unique. We have a beautiful blend of
absolutely
representative ecosystem in our network, and that's what makes it work. And if I can also just say one last point, interestingly, our network has attracted businesses that aren't Scottish or African, and I'm so humbled and honoured by that. We've got two massive Dutch corporates. We've got High Tech, the global sports brand in our network. We've got KLM, Air France. We've got probably more companies in London than we've got in Scotland. And to me, that is testament to our approach, our care, our value system. And long may it continue.
Long may it continue. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, yes, we are out of time. That's okay, though, because we'll be back here soon. I know we will. Claire, thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad that we got a chance to connect,
Absolutely.
to do this show, to learn about the network. And I'm so excited for the next one and the next one and the next one. So
yeah, I'm so happy I didn't miss it. I almost did.
Me too, Biddy. So until next time, everyone, to our viewers, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you all again soon.
Definitely. Bye.
Bye.